Not so much.
Jeez Louise. But, yeah, so my question, do you think that the Mini will be the whiteout? I mean, did they announce that? Have they announced the whiteout?
They have not announced it, no.
Because I'm not a fan of the whiteout during the day. It's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, but do you really want the whiteout to be the Minnesota? I don't know.
I think we're going to be chock full of people anyway for the Ohio State game, so I'm not worried about the fans. I mean, the fact that it's homecoming as in the night game is that's odd in itself right there, because we've always played noon on homecoming, but the TV people tell you what time and where you're playing. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
I don't know. The homecoming for a whiteout, just I don't know. It seems odd to me. I mean, I guess it would be all right. I think even if Ohio State's noon, that's the game you want. I mean, I'm with you. It doesn't have the same feel, obviously, as the night game. And when you get the lights on those white shirts, it is a different feel for sure. But
I love it when it's
how did the whiteout game be? And taking nothing away from Minnesota. I mean, the one that the fans get jacked about, obviously, is Ohio State. But it will be interesting. If that is a noon game, which I strongly suspect is going to be the case, I don't know. Because I don't think here's the thing. To me, because Penn State does these, you have the stripe out game now and all
student whiteout.
To me, like Ohio State is either you're doing the whiteout or you're not doing anything. Like doing the stripe out or some other, like that seems. I think that would be. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. That just wouldn't feel right to me. To me, it's either all right. It's just a big game, and you come out and support the team, or it is the whiteout. But I wouldn't be a fan of making that like the stripe out game should be just a game, and the stripe out is what makes it a little more fun. Right.
Well, the third one is the student whiteout, so that's the third. Or is there more, Chris? Do you know? Do they do more than those three? Student whiteout, the stripe out, and the whiteout.
In terms of fan coordination, I don't think they do anything else. I guess they could add.
What are they going to do? The reverse stripe or just the Penn State stripe? Everything else is white except for the middle.
Oh, they did that.
The helmet game.
Yeah, you could do the horizontal stripe. You could do.
Oh, I love it. Checkerboards. Did we do checkerboards?
Well, we've never done checkerboard.
Have we done checkerboards?
No.
I know Iowa has played in the checkerboards.
Never did checkerboard.
I'll look it up. I'm looking something else up.
All right. I don't ever remember the checkerboard at Penn
I
State.
wear orange, my hunter orange, just to stand out in the crowd. So that's what I do. Yes, we should have a hunter, like the closest to like a hunting season. They should have like a camo and hunter orange game. I mean, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right, Ironhead.
Might as well.
Yeah. No, so I know.
By the way, it was 13 and 08 both
homecoming with the whiteouts, night games, Michigan, both times, right? And that's when the people downtown were getting mad. It's like you can't have this. See, that's the thing about like the scheduling and stuff like that. It's like for the hotels and the bars, it's like we're going to sell out for homecoming. It's going to be a sellout no matter what. So like, don't make your biggest game of the year homecoming. And they did it for a couple 5 years there, and I was like, Jesus, guys. Chill out here. Like you make Ohio or Central Michigan, that's your homecoming game because you're going to have trouble selling those tickets for those games. So I don't mind the Minnesota game. They deserve a beating from the last couple of years. What was it, 3 years ago we lost out there? I mean, I know we've gotten our revenge since, but I want to throw them a big old beating. My personal opinion.
I don't know.
I'm just about throwing beatings today, Ironhead. That's just me.
Whatever at the end of the day, I'm not sure how much it matters.
I don't like the Ohio
the
State. Could you just? You get there early enough. You were in the media, so you're okay getting closer there. But like people who are tailgating and coming from a distance, like, can you imagine how long it's going to be a wait to get in that stadium? I mean, it's
if it's a noon kick
for the noon kick for Ohio State, which is going to be your most heavily attended game. Like at 7:30 at night game, there's cars constantly coming in throughout the day. Now you're going to have to stuff them in between 8 and 11:30. That is going to be absolutely chaos, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it is what it is. I keep on saying that, but we'll deal with it. You got to get up there at 6 a.m. That's the key. That's how I feel.
yeah. Assuming it is, which I am, assuming it is the noon kick.
You got to figure out what time
imagine.
WR Hickey opens. So that's how you gauge your tailgate, what your departure time from your home is.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is that because the Ohio State game is a noon game, I actually have tickets to the Eagles-Steelers the next day. But if that was a night game, I sure as hell was not going to go to a 1 o'clock game in Philadelphia on Sunday. But now that it's a noon game, I'll get my load on, pass out by 7 o'clock, and I'll be ready to rock and roll the next morning. You know what I mean?
Let's do it,
woo,
boys.
woo, yeah, baby. Versus your Steelers.
Yep. Quarterback battle is on, Goon.
You could have had him. I still laugh at that.
See what happens. It is going to be interesting to see how both those guys look in preseason camp, and then how that whole thing plays out. I've had a couple people ask. I have no feel for it whatsoever. As we've talked about, I was not nearly as enamored with Kenny Pickett as a lot of people were. And listen, take that with a huge grain of salt, because I'm not somebody that sits down these days and analyzes quarterback play, and this is the hitch and the any of that stuff. So the games I watched, Kenny, I thought, he looks like a good college quarterback. There was nothing there that stood out to me that said, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be a franchise NFL quarterback. That being said, I don't know that there were many fans watching Tom Brady in Michigan saying, oh, look out, this guy's going to be. So, again, I don't, I'm not sitting here telling you it was an awful pick. I just, I go in with very limited expectations, I guess, which is probably a good thing for a fan to have, because then if the guy does pan out and is a Hall of Famer, you're very pleasantly surprised. If he's good, you're pleasantly surprised. And if he's a bum, it's like, that's kind of what I was thinking might happen anyway. So
was
no big deal.
Speaking of Steeler quarterbacks, it was horrible to read about Dwayne Haskins when everything came out about that.
Yeah.
And this is like, what was going on there? I mean, was he using those drugs recreationally? Was he drugged? Was he on them because he has depression type of thing? A lot of answers need to be a lot of questions need to be answered in that one.
Yeah.
It's just sad all around. Everything about it is just horribly sad. The young man lost his life and the way he did. And, oh, man. The blood alcohol level at 6 a.m., 0.24.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then the multiple drugs in the system. And I don't know who, there was an article that said what exactly those drugs are. And some of them can be abused as recreational drugs, but they're also, they are treatments for depression and schizophrenia and all this stuff. And I'm like reading it and I'm like, okay, well, somebody has to prescribe them. If he's not prescribed them, then he's using them illegally. So who knows? I mean, I hope you figure it out and let the man rest in peace. But geez, I think about the truck driver. That's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. God Almighty. The guy's out working in a dump truck, and that happens, and he'll have nightmares the rest of his life over that. Sad, very sad,
for sure. Yep, it's it's one of those things. Regardless of everything, I mean, it is a tragedy, right? Like, and I understand the desire and the want to find out, okay, what all led to this, and I think it's important to do that, and if nothing else, to use it as a warning to others about what can happen and the ways in which you have to be careful. But it does not minimize or take away from the tragedy. And life is such a precious thing, and when you look at like on the wrestling front, what Chance Marsteller is doing after being in severe depths with trouble and problems, and there are so many stories out there of guys who are great redemption stories. There are also a number of stories of guys who never get their life turned around, and there are certainly, obviously, plenty of stories of guys who lose their life. And it's just it seems like arbitrary, right? Like there's no rhyme or reason why one guy and his stupidity on a given night, and very few of us haven't had a night somewhere along the way where your stupidity didn't put you in mortal danger, and I don't know. I think about that a lot because Dwayne Haskins, whatever happened that night, certainly is not the first or only professional athlete, or for that matter, human being, to get really drunk over the course of a night and make some questionable decisions, and whatever decisions were or were not made, and whatever contributed to the ultimate result. It just, I don't know. I get uncomfortable when I hear people going overboard on condemning the behavior. At the same time, again, if you have a young person out there and you see somebody you're related to or something that's setting down this course, I mean, I certainly understand. Man, don't be like this. This is what can happen to you, right? Like, I mean, this is what you are risking. And again, the odds are in your favor, but that isn't helping Dwayne Haskins and his family today.
And our society is like, well, what the hell's the difference? The man is dead. The man has passed on. So it's like, well, they want to know what happened. Okay, I got that, but then what are you going to do? To besmirch the guy's his life?
Yeah,
because of idiotic mistakes and a couple of they compounded and this and that, but that's just the way our society is. We have to know right now, and it's like, dude, just chill out, man.
Yeah,
that's how it is what it is. So,
all right, well,
I know we're going to go a break, but you're going to get Scott on here for the rest of the show. But let's remember what we're honoring this weekend. It's Memorial Day, and that's for all those guys who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. It's not the greatest place. It is the greatest place in the world, but it's a little screwy right now. We got to get back on track. So
this is very true. And yes, we thank all of those who have served, and certainly honor those who gave their lives on behalf of our country. We will take a break here. When we come back, Scott Walker joins us. We'll talk some CVC and also some State College Spikes as we make the turn here to the summer months. We're back after this.
Best 2 out of 3?
It's one fantastic ride. The turbocharged, tech-inspired new Kia Forte.
There's always something happening at Quaker Steak and Lube. From live music to exciting new flavors, meet your friends and refuel at your local Quaker Steak and Lube today. Can't slow down? Then order online. Pick up and get back on the road. Find us at thelube.com.
Still can't believe we designed and built a boat.
Well, actually, this kayak was designed centuries ago by people who knew a lot about water. Though, the cedar was my idea. But I guess we did it together.
I hope the thing floats.
Those builders didn't talk about floating, Dad. They said the person is the boat, and the boat is the water.
Exactly.
reverence for nature. The first ever Mazda CX-50.
We welcome you back into the Line Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. We are at Quaker Steak and Lube here in State College. Scott Walker from the State College Spikes joins us. We'll talk some Spikes baseball and also talk about Coaches versus Cancer, which is coming up, the golf tournament just around the corner. Want to start off, Scott, though, just again acknowledging the Penn State baseball team, which obviously shares the ballpark with the Spikes there. Just a terrific season for Rob Cooper's team, getting back to the Big Ten tournament for the first time in 10 years, but then getting the job done with an absolutely terrific game. Again, I didn't get a chance to see any of it, but I listened to just about all of it today, and really, really great job. A lot of different players stepping up. Pitching was terrific. And Rob Cooper, again, just seemed to make all of the right moves at the right times. And Penn State comes up with a 5-2 win as the 6th seed over the 3rd seeded Iowa Hawkeyes. And Penn State now will face tomorrow the winner of this game between Purdue and Rutgers, which is still tied at 3 here. And so we'll see. Maybe we'll have a 6-7 matchup here in terms of seeds in the Big Ten tournament tomorrow. But couldn't happen to a better person in Rob Cooper and a better program than the Penn State baseball.
Well, we love calling the ballpark home and sharing it with those guys. Couldn't be happier for Coop and the staff, Josh Newman, Sean Moore, Dallas Burke, all the guys. I really couldn't be, Jake Stone, I couldn't be happier for them. They really do it the right way. And to see it come together this year, to get in the tournament, first Big Ten tournament win since 2008. Yeah. Did you see the ball Matt Wood hit today?
I have not. I've heard, so when I was on Steve Jones' show earlier today, that I heard him talk about it was a bomb. I mean, Brian Tripp, obviously, I heard his call.
Yes.
And obviously, but I still have not had a chance to see it.
Somebody called in a bomb threat on that one. He put some good wood on it, no pun intended.
Yeah.
The kid can hit the ball.
Crushed it.
No, they had a good year, and, to get into the tournament, first time in 10 years, first win since 08, like I said. We're rooting for him every day. Would love to see him get another one and keep going.
And listen, I thought Brian Tripp made a great point on the radio broadcast. The longer Penn State hangs around, one of the things Penn State has is pitching depth.
Yes.
And he was talking about the Big Ten pitcher of the year for Iowa. Would he be able to pitch again this weekend? Penn State is only used the 2 pitchers today, so that is a big deal too. When you're in this tournament, there's just a lot of different things that factor in. And I think, if Penn State can get a win tomorrow, then the Alliance just may end up finding themselves in the regionals here before it's all said and done.
I enjoyed watching the ball game this morning.
Yeah, it would be really, really cool stuff.
10 a.m. ball game. Love it.
Yeah, and I think there was something to be said, Tripper said that that was the first morning game all year for Iowa. Old hat for Penn State. And listen, again, you got to make the adjustments. I get it, but it is different if you haven't been. It's just like we talk about. If your football team is plays the first 5 games, all 3:30 starts, and then you go to noon or 8. It is. It's just different. It disrupts what you're accustomed to, and
for sure.
I do think that that at least played a factor.
Well, and it's also the central time zone.
No question.
There, right? So it's 10 o'clock here. But
so it was a lot of fun, though,
for sure,
for Penn State to get that win. And, again, we'll see if they can build on it moving forward. We'll start with State College Spikes, Scott, and then I do want to get into Coaches versus Cancer and be nice to get that tournament going again here. I know a lot of folks are looking forward to it. But let's start with the Spikes and just kind of how everything is coming together here for what hopefully I shouldn't count my chickens before they're hatched, but hopefully will be a return to normalcy in terms of fans and being able to get out to the ballpark and enjoy everything. I believe so too. It's just every time I think we're clear of everything, we're not. But it certainly feels right now like we're at least going to be moving forward.
Well,
with that as the
I'll backtrack a little bit to last summer. Because it was crazy last summer. And from the July 4th game on, We had our biggest crowd in franchise history, 7,183 on July 4th. From that point forward to the end of the year, we actually outpaced the 2019 season by more than 500 fans per game.
Is that right?
Because I think everybody just needed something to do, get out of the house, and we're outside, and we're one of the things to do in town in the summer. So building on that momentum from last year, there was no groups, there was no big picnics, nobody was planning group gatherings last summer. So we did that without group gatherings. So this year they're coming back. The picnic area will be full again. We're having our 200, 300, 500 person group gatherings from companies or nonprofit organizations. They're coming back. And the ballpark is looking alive. It's coming together. Next Friday, June 3rd, is our home opener. Same day as CVC Golf. For me.
Love it.
Do you?
I love it.
You do?
I don't think you would love it so much, but I love it.
It is. It is what it is, and I'm fortunate to have a bunch of great
busy
people
little
that I work
fellow
with.
that
Oh
day.
my, that day. Every day leading up to it. It's
Yeah,
crazy. And we
fair
host
enough.
the big fancy reception the night before.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that Dan Petrozola, Joe Putnam, Matt Neary, and Rob DeLuca, and our entire staff is willing to put up with my crap and basically take the ballpark apart and put it back together again the very next day for home opener on Friday, June 3rd.
Yeah, but you got to put up with Putnam's ego. How you do that,
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
I'd be lost without that guy. He's a walking encyclopedia. Not
I feel
just
like
sports,
Center
but
County
anything.
would be lost without that guy.
He is one of a kind. I mean, you know it. You can literally rattle off any sports trivia question out there.
Yep.
And the man, I mean, I've been doing it since high school. I went to high school with Joe, and I was in chemistry class with him. I sat in the front row. I think I was assigned to sit in the front row. Joe sat right behind me. Joe got an A. I did not. And I would literally all the time in class, I would just kind of poke the desk and I'd go, hey, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl IV. And he would rattle it off, and he would not only give you the name, he'd give you their stats, he'd give you their height, their weight, their social security number, their mother's maiden name. It was just unbelievable. And he's still doing it today. So what I'm getting at, though, is I'm fortunate to have such a great group of folks I work with, not just Spikes, but on the CVC committee, too. So they make my life a little easier, and I show up and just do radio interviews.
Now, listen, it's baseball, so we're grateful for that. But anything that we could especially be looking forward to, any new things. That
I appreciate you teeing me up like that. Our good friends at Lion Country Kia, Jonathan Runkle. I don't know if you've seen him in here or not. Once or twice in the past.
Vaguely, just real quickly as he was passing through. Yeah,
I'm pumped for these deer bats. 24 ounces of beverage you can put in these. They're deer bats, not beer bats. So you can get a soda pop, you can get a slushy, you can get other things put in them, but you'll be able to buy these at the ballpark, get them filled with your favorite beverage, keep it, take it home, try not to spill it, try not to hit anybody at the ballpark. But
that is just a
I'm
beautiful,
thrilled,
beautiful thing.
It's all year long. And I can't wait to see him all over the ballpark. I don't know if Dan Petrozola.
Let me feel the weight on this. I just want to make sure if it. Well, yeah. See, now it does. It kind of naturally does just kind of tip this way.
I've had a few soda pops.
This is a beautiful thing.
Out of them myself at a few fancy parties so far this spring, and I'm looking forward to it. We also just inked a deal with Mr. Sean Clifford actually this morning, late last night this morning, and Sean's going to join us for opening night. He's going to be on hand to meet and greet throughout the season's first ceremonial pitch, and do autographs for fans on the concourse. So we got the QB1 at the home opener for Penn State football, and we got fireworks after the ball game. Our good friends at PSECU are sponsoring the evening. You get a schedule poster on your way in, and it's the first chance we'll be able to see all the smiling faces back at Medler Field at LeBron Park this summer, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it is. It is just such a cool thing to have minor league baseball in this area. I still I wish it had been here when I was a kid, because it really would have just been so cool to go up there as kids. And I took my nephews up when they were young, and just to watch the reaction and the opportunities they have to interact with the mascots and to try to catch the balls and do the post game stuff. It is such a cool thing for kids, and especially young kids. And now with my son, we're just so pumped to be able to get up there and be able to experience it for ourselves, but really to watch it through their eyes. It's just such a cool thing and,
Well, I
and
can't
a
wait
great
to
opportunity.
see you and Marissa and the little guy at the ballpark here soon. How old is he now?
He'll be 7 in July.
Cool.
So yep,
that's a good age for coming to the ballpark.
It is a great age. Yeah, we're pumped about the pool, the amusement parks, and baseball games this summer. So all good stuff. And it really is just such a, as we've talked about, it's just such a family-friendly experience. And, when you start pricing out entertainment options, you're not going to get a better value.
Especially
I can guarantee you that, yes, than what you get with minor league baseball. And it's just, again, the fun thing about it is you don't have to know a doggone thing about baseball, and you're going to go up there and have a great time. People watching, seeing all of the different things that are
sights,
going on.
The sounds, the smells.
And if you do love baseball, the good thing is, too, it really is a very high caliber of play that you get to see. And you are going to see guys that are going to be playing in Major League Baseball somewhere down the road.
We're in a different league. We're in the Major League Baseball Draft League, so we're not affiliated with a specific team as we had been in the past, Cardinals or Pirates. But what you're seeing is prospects now. And to your point, last year there was 91 players that were either drafted or signed by big league clubs last year. 91 out of our league. So you are seeing future big leaguers. I think the talent level as the league progresses is only going to get better. And, you're going to see future big leaguers. And, the thing about the ballpark is it's a great place already. But, I want to mention the fact that when you see some changes happening here in the near future, you'll see a new Medler Field at the Bronno Park in the not-too-distant future. Starting this fall, we're getting a brand-new playing surface. And then we're looking at everything. We're upgrading from, the technology, the video board, the sound system. We're looking at everything, really, the clubhouses, the batting tunnels, the seats, the suites. We're going to upgrade the place to a major degree, and I think that's only going to enhance the experience at the ballpark moving forward.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, and I think you're enhancing an experience that's already pretty incredible. So certainly look forward to that and seeing all of the improvements and upgrades, but. Again, as is a pretty special experience in and of itself.
For sure.
Let's turn the corner and talk a little bit about Coaches versus Cancer. Opportunities still for to sign up, or are we filled here?
You have an hour and 13 minutes.
Got it.
Realistically, to get something done. We'll make it happen, but the golf tournament, like we mentioned, is next Friday. We host a big fancy reception the night before at the ballpark, June 2nd. We're taking our top sponsors to Top Golf to entertain them prior to, but 6:30 to 10 o'clock, Danny Rawlis Catering with Style, get the best food in town. It's a big party. It's a big bash the night before. Then we got to get up real early and go see our friends Joe Hughes, Brian Short, Steve Esky at the golf courses and play 2 flights. We play at 7 and 12:30 we play over at Penn State golf courses. This year, I don't want to jinx anything, but we're having a tremendous, tremendous year, and that's because of our great committee, starting with Wendy Pelkey, Mike Martin, Elena Powell, all the folks at the ACS office. We have about 15, 20 people on the committee, and everybody pulls their weight, and the amount of volunteers we have is tremendous. Our sponsors that step up to the table that have been with us since day one, and we have a bunch of new sponsors this year. It's our 25th anniversary. It's a huge year for us, and we're looking to set records in terms of money raised, which the more we raise, the more we're able to keep here in Center County. We donate a bunch of money to the Bob Perks Cancer Assistance Fund, and that money literally goes to people and families that are fighting cancer. It's real life. If you can imagine getting that diagnosis, or one of your loved ones getting that diagnosis, then what? You don't think about then what? Am I still going to be able to work? I got to go get my treatments. How do I get there? All that stuff. That's what we're able to do with this money, is help people with cancer.
And as you said, there are just so many little things that come up that you don't think about. Right? I mean, just fighting cancer is a big deal.
Yeah.
But obviously, it is a huge adjustment to you and your family's life when that happens.
For sure.
And again, it's just a lot of things between childcare, just getting to the grocery store, getting to the appointments, whatever it may be, that again, you just aren't expecting or planning for. And it is a big deal to have the Bob Perks Fund and the opportunity to get some assistance. And again, you're helping out folks right in this area. This isn't, going out to
Pasadena,
somewhere else. Yeah. So I know you have and we're getting close. Is there any need for volunteers if somebody is thinking that they might, or are you pretty well set this year?
We're pretty good, but for example, why not come check it out this year, learn a little bit more about it, and then in the future, figure out how you can get involved best for you. Some people are great at sponsorship sales. Some people are great at planning events or running silent auctions. Our friends Lee and Terry. So there's a lot going on. It takes an army. It really does. I'm the guy that shows up, like I said, and does the radio interviews. But really, there's a core group of folks that really drive the bus. I mean, Wendy Pelkey is the director of CVC, really, in reality, and she does. I mean, I think she sent a group text around earlier to our executive team, and I think she said she had sent something like 132 emails today for Coaches versus Cancer golf tournaments. If you don't think about all the stuff that goes into planning a golf tournament and raising the hundreds of thousands of dollars that we do, and think about ordering the gifts and everything. We have the biggest, baddest golfer gift bag, and I take pride in that. And we have the best one around. You get a real nice bag. You get a wearable, a nice pullover quarter zip anorak. It is. You can fold the thing right back in and of itself. You get a hat. You get a brand new glove. We're giving $25 gift cards to every golfer to the clubhouse at Penn State this year, thanks to our friends at PSECU and Joe Hughes for working that out for us. So, I mean, it's the biggest, baddest tournament around. It's one of them. And there's some other great tournaments in town, but this one is special. It's a 2-day festivity. You get to play with a captain, a celebrity. Keith Conlon is a captain, probably our biggest captain. Literally and figuratively, I think
that is true.
It's not his head though. That's only literal. That's not figurative. That's not figurative. But no, it's a blast. So next Thursday at the ballpark, June 2nd, big fancy reception. Friday at the golf courses, and then we're actually going to wrap things back up at the ballpark again this year at the home opener. We're going to celebrate and have our awards dinner during the game back at Medler Field for the home opener. Yeah. So it all came together nicely.
Cool. Yeah, and that reception, if you've not been, is you talk about a first-rate event.
Oh, yeah.
And a ton of fun.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit. I know you touched on it earlier, but talk a little bit about what all that event entails and some of the opportunities that you have if you attend that event.
Well, we'll have for the whole tournament alone, we'll have close to 70 teams, and we play 5 teams. So you get your foursome together, and then we pair you with somebody like Keith or like Christian Hackenberg or guys that played Penn State football decades ago. Or it's a basketball event. So Coach Shrewsbury and his staff have been tremendous. For example, I know Nick Colella went out and got us a pair of Jason Tatum game-worn autographed shoes. Man's lighting it on fire right now. He's going to be in the NBA Finals, hopefully against the Warriors here. Yeah. So we have stuff like that, and there's folks like that involved. I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, and if you remember back in the 90s, his teammate at the time, Ron Harper, number 9 for the Bulls back in the mid-90s, Ron Harper comes and joins us every year. He'll be there. Yep. He's coming back. I was just texting with a buddy of his, and they're coming and playing with us. And boy, you should hear the stories he has to tell because he was on that team, but then he was on the Lakers team that won championships with Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
So I've sat at old Rotelli, my buddy Dave Krauth, when we had Rotelli back in the day. I sat with Ron Harper, wee hours of the morning, and he would tell me about stories about MJ, Kobe, Shaq, playing with those guys, hanging with those guys, what it was like. It's really, really cool. You get to have those kinds of experiences at this golf tournament. It's one of a kind.
Yeah, no, it is. It's just a whole lot of fun. And again, if you've not been, it is just a terrific opportunity. And again, it's obviously a great cause, as we've talked about each year. I don't know if there's anybody that can get through their lifetime without being impacted.
Yes, somebody.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible to not get through it. And it's one of the things that is always just interesting to me is to hear that the story. You start talking to somebody, it's like, oh, it has cancer, and it's like, people that you think man, they have the life. And it's like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I lost a brother or I lost a sister or, lost both of my parents, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, it's, and, the other neat thing about it, though, is that you can see very directly the progress that is being made in the battle against cancer. We still have a ways to go, but
For sure.
I'm telling you, the treatments and a diagnosis that was a death sentence,
Right.
25 years ago,
Right.
now is hey, you're going to have a tough go of it here for a year or two. But in many cases, it's, after that, knock on wood, you're going to be able to live out a good, healthy, long life.
Some amazing breakthroughs.
And we keep making advancements, and they keep getting
here
new
too.
breakthroughs.
It's happening here too. Dr.
Big
Jim
time.
Powell. If you see the story about Emily Whitehead, Dr. Jim Powell here locally had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right, and that money goes towards helping families and goes towards cancer research. And COVID had a big impact actually, because think about all the things that stopped.
Yep.
So the amount of money, I've heard that the phrase, I think it was that somebody at the ACS office had to say was basically that COVID caused a 10-year downfall in funding for cancer research. Basically, it set us back 10 years because we weren't able to do golf tournaments and fundraising events during that time. So it's important.
Yeah, it is. I think it's going to take us a long time to understand all of the true impact of how we dealt with COVID and how to hopefully better manage it. If and probably when it comes around, something similar comes around sometime again. Hopefully not in our lifetime, but again, let's just recap. If you pretty much, if you want to join and golf the Coaches versus Cancer tournament, pretty much need to
call
do
me
that
right now.
now.
814-380-8084. Call me, text me, fax me. But cvcpennstate.org. It's, we don't just do the golf tournament. We do events all year long. So there's other ways you can still get involved. We got a big fancy event in the fall we do with Danny Rawls and folks there at the reverse card drawing. So there's stuff all year long. cvcpennstate.org. And then to go back to the Spikes real quick, there are still tickets for opening night. Actually, you better get them now, because I was just talking to my good friends at Geisinger, and we just lined up 500 tickets for them.
No kidding.
For opening night this morning. So get them now, statecollegespikes.com, buy online. You can call us, stop in and see our folks, stop to the ticket office, see our good friend Robbie DeLuca and everybody at the ballpark. statecollegespikes.com. You can still get them. 6:35 ball game, fireworks, Sean Clifford on hand, first pitch, autographs, meet and greet. So it'll be a blast.
That's
and
a week from Saturday, right?
Friday.
Or
Friday the 3rd.
Friday.
Same day as CVC Golf. Yep, same day.
Got it.
Not like everything's happening all at once. No. That's a busy weekend because you got Special Olympics.
Yeah.
You got Top Golf. You got the Spikes. You got CVC, and then there's a Letterman's golf tournament and festivities that weekend too. So there's a football Letterman. There's a lot going on.
Other than that, though, not really much going on.
Other than that, we'll be at the Loop.
As always, we appreciate the time. Appreciate all you do, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is going to wrap up today's show. We hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend. We hope you do take some time and remember those who did give their life for our country and recognize that sacrifice and enjoy the freedoms that that sacrifice has provided us. And we will talk to you again on Tuesday. Good luck to the Penn State baseball team the rest of this weekend. And until Tuesday, be good and be safe.
Best 2 out of 3?
It's one fantastic ride. The turbocharged, tech-inspired new Kia Forte.
There's always something happening at Quaker Steak and Lube. From live music to exciting new flavors, meet your friends and refuel at your local Quaker Steak and Lube today. Can't slow down? Then order online. Pick up and get back on the road. Find us at thelube.com.
You know, we humans have come a long way on our journey. Our first language wasn't exactly, a language. Medium well, thank you. Our first vehicles weren't the fastest.
Can you,
Faster. Hey, boys, punch it! Our first maps weren't that accurate. And you know, fellas, the world is actually, give a ball. Our first phones weren't smart. Text mom winky face emoji. Our first screens, you couldn't touch.
Mom, Dad's feeling the TV.
No one likes a snitch, son. And the first electric vehicles weren't, let's just say, they look nothing like the first ever Ioniq 5. I mean, two-way charging, AR heads-up display, 300-mile range. What can't this thing do? Look, the point is, it's been a long, yeah, good point, really long journey. But worth it. Your journey at its most evolved, the fully electric Hyundai Ioniq 5.